This unit introduces the matrix band and retainer as part of the amalgam tray setup.
The purpose of this video is to discuss and demonstrate the assembly of the matrix band and retainer for amalgam restorations on any posterior tooth. You should have your matrix band and retainer with you to work along with the video. Do not hesitate to stop and review the tape at any time if you have not fully understood the ideas stated.
A matrix band is a thin strip of stainless steel slipped around a prepared tooth to create a form around the tooth. It holds the restorative material in a desired place and gives the material shape. The bands are available in many styles. The variety most frequently used in our clinic is the plain band. The matrix band retainer is used to hold the matrix band in place. The most popular type is the Toffelmeier. Before learning how to assemble the Toffelmeier matrix, it is important to identify the many parts of the retainer and their uses. The vise is the box-shaped, clamp-like device that holds the ends of the matrix band in the retainer. Notice the diagonal slot on the vise. The matrix band ends are slipped into this area to be secured. The spindle is the screw-like rod used to lock the ends of the matrix band in the vise. The outer knob is an adjustment knob used to tighten the spindle against the band once it has been placed in the vise. The inner knob is the adjustment used to slide the vise along. The effect of this adjustment is to either increase or decrease the size of the matrix band loop. The guide slots enable a matrix band loop to be positioned either to the right or to the left. In use, the retainer will always be placed on the buccal aspect of the tooth. The guide slots will always be placed toward the gingiva. This placement procedure is followed for both arches. Preparing the retainer. Hold the retainer by the vise in the left hand so that the guide slots are visible. Turn the outer knob clockwise until the end of the spindle is visible in the diagonal slot in the vise. Turn the inner knob until the vise moves to within 3 millimeters of the guide slots. Turn the outer knob counterclockwise until the tip of the spindle just disappears from view in the diagonal slot in the vise. You are now ready to insert the matrix band into the retainer. The matrix band has a gingival and an occlusal edge. When the ends of the band are brought together, you will note how the gingival edge now appears narrower than the occlusal edge. The band appears to have a cone shape. When applied properly, the wider edge of the cone shape will always be at the occlusal, and the narrower edge of the cone will always be placed at the gingiva. Remember, when the ends of the band are brought together, so that a loop is formed, you should be careful that you do not fold or crease the matrix band. The loop will be large for a molar and smaller for a bicuspid. With the gingival aspect of the retainer toward you, slide the joined ends of the band, occlusal edge first, into the diagonal slot of the vise. Thread the joined band through the guide slots, and when this step is completed, the narrow portion of the cone and the guide slots should be toward you, and when placed on the tooth, will be toward the gingiva. The matrix band is in the universal position when placed straight ahead. For a specific area, you must now decide whether the loop should go to the right or to the left of the guide slots. This is dependent on the quadrant of the mouth being worked on. Since the retainer is always on the buccal, you must adapt the loop for the specific quadrant. Once the loop is positioned, seat the band completely in the slots so that nothing protrudes beyond the guide slots. Turn the outer knob clockwise to clamp the band in the vise. The handle of a mouth mirror can be used to smooth the matrix band and remove any indentations on the band's surface. The loop can be made smaller or larger by turning the inner knob. To review, the retainer is always placed on the buccal surface of the teeth. The guide slot always points gingivally. The wider edge of the cone always slips into the guide slot first. The narrower edge of the cone always touches the gingiva.
It may sound a little complicated at first, but with continued practice, it will become a simple task. Please practice this competency and request an evaluation by your instructor. If there is any step in the procedure which is not clear, please review the video until you feel comfortable with all aspects of the procedure.